The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you. I'm Sister Charlene Muhammad. Welcome to Liberated Sisters. Today, our entire show is dedicated to the Justice Report. We are defending Farrakhan. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has come under a resurgence of attacks, vile, vicious rumors by the Zionist, Satanistic, so-called powerful Jews. And this is as a result of not only a photograph that surfaced of him in a book by our brother Askia Muhammad with President Barack Obama. He was then Senator Obama, but also from his recent revelatory statements during his riveting message at the Nation of Islam's Savior's Day Convention. February 25th was his keynote address in Chicago, Illinois at the Wintrust Arena. And so today, the Justice Report, we are defending Farrakhan. And as well, Kiana Selena Smith will be here with us by phone to talk about the case of 16-year-old Anthony Weber shot by LA sheriffs. So we're streaming live at Morris Media Studios on YouTube, also right here on my Facebook page, of course, weigh in. But again, we are defending Farrakhan. Let's continue with the Justice Report. Today's Justice Report, we start with the local case of 16-year-old Anthony Weber. He was shot February 4th by the LA Sheriff's Department. And on the line with us now to talk about this, she hosted, coordinated, along with others, a rally and a march here for justice is Kiana Selena Smith. Sister Kiana, greetings. Welcome to Liberated Sisters.
Good morning, sister.
Thank you for being with us.
Oh, no problem. No problem at all.
Yeah, I appreciate it, sister, as we know many do. But for those who don't, she's a very staunch advocate and a fighter for freedom, justice, and equality for our people and for all people. And also, sister is a wife and mother, and she's right there in the trenches with her pumps on the ground.
Right.
And I'm very fond of that. I'm keen to that, what it takes to be a mother in the struggle. But we're going to be talking to Anthony Weber's father, John, in just a few minutes. But Sister Kiana, let us know what's happening. What's this case about, and what happened with the march and rally that you all held recently?
Well, we've held 3 protests for Anthony Weber, 16-year-old, gunned down by LASD, Los Angeles Sheriffs, as you mentioned. Mm-hmm. And initially, the sheriff said that they saw him with a gun in their waistband. They said that they entered the area based on a phone call that they received, a 911 call from someone who said that he was passing by and that there was a young person out in the street that they saw pointing a gun at someone, and that walked into an apartment building. And so the person on the alleged call said that he was already back at home when he made the 911 call. So sheriffs went and pursued it, allegedly, and said that they saw Anthony from the intersection of 112th and Budlong, and that he gave chase, and they chased him, and that he turned around and they saw a gun in his waistband, and so they shot him. That's the cover-up that they have put forward. And when that didn't stick, they said that when they could not produce a gun, then they said that someone in the crowd of 40 people allegedly outside must have grabbed the gun in the confusion after he was shot. And then they changed it and said he must have handed it to someone while he was running in that short chase.
Wow.
And then the latest report that they have released said that it's possible that he might not have had a gun on him when they shot him. So
3 times. Wow.
Exactly.
Wow.
And no gun produced, no autopsy report released to the family, no police report released to the family, no names of officers released, nothing. So we've had a total of 3 protests so far. One was from the apartment building he was murdered in, to the sheriff's station. One at All-Star Weekend, to inform people who are coming into L.A. what the people in L.A. are experiencing. Right. And one just this past weekend from the Attorney General Javier Becerra's office to District Attorney Jackie Lacey's office.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. And before it's so ludicrous, someone must have taken the gun. Who would want that gun, right?
Right.
First of all. But then just the criminality, the criminalization of a people. What are your demands?
Immediate charges and prosecution by the District Attorney Jackie Lacey, as well as the State Attorney General Javier Becerra. District Attorney Jackie Lacey has demonstrated time and time again that she is not willing to hold officers and law enforcement accountable in the way that they should be to the communities that they serve. And so we're also demanding charges from State Attorney General Javier Becerra. Those are our organization's immediate demands, and I know that the family has got to have a lot of demands, on top of that. But as far as me speaking for the Coalition for Community Control over the Police, we demand immediate charges and prosecution so that instead of, these lies and this cover story that the sheriffs keep changing, that put these officers on trial and cross-examine them.
Yeah. How can people reach your organization for more information about this and other work that you're doing?
You can look us up on Facebook, Coalition for Community Control over the Police. You can call me. My number is 213-608-6370, or send a text. We respond immediately. I can email you. You can email me, KEYANNABEAN@gmail.com. That's KeyannaBean@gmail.com, KeyannaBean@gmail.com. And we will get back to you, and we can connect and continue to organize.
Thank you so much, sister. Keep up the great work. And now we're going to, and thanks for connecting us as well with Mr. John Weber. We're getting ready to talk to him right now. So please spread the word for us. Share this. We're streaming on Facebook and also Morris Media Studios YouTube page, okay? Morris Media, actually MorrisMediaLive.com.
And thank you for all that you do, sister.
Praise be to Allah. Assalamu alaikum. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings.
So, brothers and sisters, we have it there. Look, as we get ready to speak to John Weber, the father of this 16-year-old teen that was killed, this baby has a 9-month-old baby, right? 9-month-old. Father snatched right out of thin air. I spoke to Mr. John Weber, his dad, just briefly, and he's going to talk to us about how that's impacting their family and also why he's demanding justice. He just can't get any answers, and he really thinks that the sheriffs shot the wrong person. And so we're going to bring in Mr. John Weber right now. Thank you so much for taking time to join Liberated Sisters, sir. Welcome.
Well, thank you. What can I do to help?
Well, what can we do to help you? It's the question.
I was going through it this morning, thinking about what happened, and it looks to me, from what I've seen, what the deputies ain't really saying anything. I'm trying to find out information about what happened to my son, and I had to, they wouldn't release any of the information from the autopsy, so I rolled him over in the elevator at the mortuary, and I photographed his body, and they had about 9 bullets in his back. And he was 16 years old, and there was a few on the side. There was vertical wounds, and so it tells me they not only shot him in the back, but they shot him when he was falling down. So and it was 4 vertical wounds, so I'm thinking it was 2 shooters. So then, all the information I'm getting is that they shot the wrong guy, and they're not giving me any information to contradict it. They're saying there was 20 or 30 people there, so it's part of a larger issue, I think, with these kids being killed. Children are our most precious asset in this whole country, and when these cops run up in areas where they know it's high-risk environments without proper threat assessments made on the locations and protocols put in place which to control how they conduct themselves, and then they just run up in there shooting up the place, and I think they shot like at least 15, 20 times.
Whoa.
Okay? So there's candy stores and stuff in this small enclosed courtyard with all these apartments. It could have been more than one kid got hit, and I don't know what kind of discipline they had or what was on their mind. I'm quite sure they didn't wake up thinking about killing somebody, but at the same time, there should be some kind of controls put in force where when the cops or deputies have to respond to these areas where there's continual calls and they visit it over and over again, that there's some type of protocols put in place to control these deputies from being in these situations. That's not protecting our citizen when you send in gunners running up in their guns, drawing guns, blazing, without the presence of exigent circumstances, or in direct pursuit of an ongoing, felony or something. You're just going in there fishing, and it just doesn't make any sense. And I'm thinking they shot the wrong kid. I just don't understand. They won't be transparent. I've asked Captain Tardy of the South LA station for patrol schedules, for police reports, deputy reports, whatever you want to call them, incident reports, training records, disciplinary records, even email addresses for other people in the chain of command. I've been unable to get it. They won't even talk to me. So I'm just like, I'm at a stonewall right now. I'm getting one side of the story, but they're not saying anything, and they slammed the door in my face. I just want to know what happened to my son, and I want to have a fair inquiry into it. Yeah. They're doing the investigation themselves, which, I don't know, if I can even trust that in the beginning,
Yes, sir. I do understand. Do you all have any, and thank you for sharing that, and I understand your anguish. Before I ask the next question, one thing I thought about as you were speaking about the way police careen into neighborhoods in some of these cases, Student Minister Tony Muhammad, our Nation of Islam Western Region representative, about a decade back, we had an issue with that. Like the brothers, Brother Tony and the brothers actually fought the police, the LAPD, because the community was at a vigil for someone that had been killed, and the police careened in. Babies were out, mothers, grandmothers were out, and they spoke to the police about how they came in and what the dangers were, and then of course, a fight ensued, and the rest, of course, is history. But you're right.
You know what? There's nothing wrong with that, standing up for your Second Amendment rights. To me, that's a whole other issue, and I understand where they were coming from,
Mm-hmm.
And but I'm right now, I'm dealing with, I had 10 kids, okay, and I got 9 now, okay, but I got 3, all of them are affected. I got 3 of them that are just getting in trouble at school now every day, and then I'm not getting any support helping these kids, because I've been trying to instill in them, a sense of becoming productive citizens. And,
yes, sir. Oh, we'll try to get him back. Family, reach out if you could to family of John Weber. On our page, I'm friends with Kiana Selena Smith. Contact the activists. Black Lives Matter has been advocating for the Weber family and supporting them. There are many others. Google them, pick up the Anthony Weber hashtag, find out how we can support them. Mr. John Weber was just talking about the impact it's having on his children at school. He's saying that 3 of them are now getting in trouble at school. And I think we have him back on. And we're going to be, after we speak to him, speaking with Jesse Muhammad on defending Farrakhan. This is the Justice Report. Let's talk to Brother John. He's back. Mr. Weber, thank you. You were saying that your children 3 of them are having trouble in school now.
Yeah, they're just not being able to deal with it that way. You know, I guess you could say they're feeling a certain way, and you know, they need some support, and I'm trying to be there for them, but it's just, you know, I'm having to go down to the school. I'm having to, you know, it's just a bad thing overall, and then I'm just getting the doors shut in my face when I'm trying to figure out what happened to my son. I want to know the truth.
Yes,
you know?
sir.
The deputies ran up in there, you know, it was off the chain, you know. There's got to be some controls put in place to have these deputies or police not operating like some kind of paramilitary units like we're in Afghanistan or Iraq somewhere, you know, where you just go in and shoot everybody and ask questions later. This is America, you know, and it's their duty to protect us as citizens, not to just go in like that, you know?
Yes,
there
sir.
were other ways to deal with that. And I want to know how many units were available, why they didn't request backup. And I just, you know, I'm not getting any cooperation.
Yes, sir. The question I wanted to ask you before we leave, a couple of questions. One, do you have any legal representation? Is your family represented by any attorney at this time?
Yeah, I got a lawyer. A lawyer represents AJ and his baby and his mom, you know. And every time I ask him for something, he does all right. You know, because I was concerned about the autopsy. Right, they wouldn't let me in. I was over there trying to peek in the window till the deputies showed up. They got that place locked down pretty tight over there. But, you know, we were lucky enough to have to pay for a forensic pathologist to be present during the autopsy. But he's sworn to secrecy. He can't reveal any of the results of the autopsy to me until the conclusion of the investigation. So I'm still kind of out here wondering what happened to my son. That's why I rolled his body over and took pictures of him, you know?
Yes, sir.
And there's no reason for emptying your weapon out in a boy that young, you know, 16 years old. And 9 in the back, maybe, I don't know how many in the front, 3, couple on the side, you know, it just doesn't make any sense. There's like 4 grazes, you know, it's just like, what were they thinking? What would cause them to do that? And they're not giving me any explanation. What would set those officers out to do that? What were they scared of? What happened? And that's all. I need answers, you know, and I need to be able to tell my kids what happened. But they're looking at me for leadership, and I just don't have the answers.
Yes, sir. Oh, Mr. John Weber, I feel your pain. What can we do to help? How can people reach your attorney? Or is there an organization that we should reach out to for any support that you all need?
You know, anybody that wants to help out with my kids, you know, they need to check with me first because I'm kind of particular about what's, you know, taught to my kids.
Yes, sir.
I don't want anybody pressing their agenda into what's happened to my son, you know, and using that to ride on his shirt tails or whatever. You know, I'm just concerned that we get a fair inquiry.
Yes, sir. Indeed. And so do you have an email address or anything that we can give to our listening audience? Or how should people reach you? You have a Facebook page? Okay. So we seem to have his connection. He is driving, but what we're going to do is move on to our next segment in the Justice Report with Jesse Muhammad. And while we take care of that, I just want to reiterate his appeal. And we can go back to the replay. We can go to hashtag Anthony Weber. You know, adamantly, he said he speaks for his family. And I'm with that. You know, in the case of Oscar Grant, the Oscar Grant movement would have been railroaded, bombarded, barreled through, run amok if it was not for Cephas' Uncle Bobby Johnson, who stepped in, obviously, right, the uncle of Oscar Grant, and made sure that no one co-opted his son's name, legacy, his nephew, pardon me. But Uncle Bobby, you wouldn't know it wasn't his son. He loves him, God. But just made sure that Miss Wanda Johnson and their family was taken care of. And so when I hear John Weber say that, he brings that right to mind. And so our hearts and our prayers from Liberated Sisters go out to you, to Anthony Weber's son, to the mother, and the whole family, for justice that you seek, and we pray that you do get it. And we're going to turn now in the Justice Report to defending Farrakhan. We have on the line with us Brother Jesse Muhammad of the Farrakhan Twitter Army. He is a social media guru. Brother Jesse, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Thank you for being with us. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Always an honor to be with you, Sister Charlene.
Wonderful. Yeah, man, this is your first time here with Liberated Sisters at Mars Media Studios.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Man. Well, I'm definitely really honored now.
Yeah. Well, look, the honor is mine to have you here, with these attacks that Minister Farrakhan have come under as of late. By the way, finalcall.com. finalcall.com. You can go to right now to read the cover story by the editor-in-chief, Brother Richard Muhammad, and myself, and all of the analysis from people, including Brother Jesse, about why people should really stop these vicious attacks and outright lies against Minister Farrakhan. Brother Jesse, I'm going to just come straight slang with it. Why they mad? Why they mad at the minister, Brother Jesse?
Well, anybody who calls themselves a reader of the Bible can just turn to the book of John in the 8th chapter, and they will see that Jesus had a dispute, an argument with the Jews of his time. And in their debate, their discussion, they were saying that they were of Abraham's seed and that God was their father, but Jesus said, wait a minute, that's the up-to-date translation. If you love me, if you love God, you would love me, for I proceeded forth from him. Then he just straight up told him that you are of your father, the devil. And so with that, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has made it very clear, the distinction between the good Jews and those who are of the synagogue of Satan. So this man has been uncovering them for decades now, and now the world is flocking on social media in all different pockets of the world, flocking to his message, and they are gravely upset because this man will not back down, has not backed down from speaking the truth of who they are. And lastly, I'm seeing that there are so many people outside of the Nation of Islam that are standing so strong online in defense of Minister Farrakhan because their eyes are opening up. They're seeing these people who consider themselves Jews. They're spewing some of the most foul and vile language, Charlene, at Minister Farrakhan on social media. So the fact that the minister pointed out from the Talmud that they wanted Jesus to be burning and boiling in excrement. If they were mad about that one that wasn't the one to bring down their civilization, then we should not be surprised that they are upset by the man that's still standing. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Speaking of still standing, here's a final call. Here I stand. Beautiful picture of Minister Farrakhan. But this is why they're upset. They really wanted to kill the minister. They have attempted to kill him. He's still here. He's still teaching truth. He's still uncovering Satan and revealing the true Jesus and the true children of Israel. Brother Jesse, some of, his message from Savior's Day, you said that people were, his enemies had latched on to his hashtag and to the hashtag that we were tweeting out and began the foul language and cursing the minister out, cursing some of the followers out, all because he's seeking to really free black people and tell people the truth.
That's right. They fear this man so much that they have been calling on the owners of Twitter Incorporated to shut down the minister's Twitter account. You are so afraid of this man's truth that he can't even tweet?
Yeah.
What is it that you fear? See, the scripture said we have to stop him before the whole world goes after him. See, they don't want the masses to flock because now with this modern equipment, see, years ago, they controlled the narrative. They controlled fully the information that was out there. And because we had our street campaign, of course, and we didn't necessarily have the digital abstract, as we would call it back in the day, but now it's a different story. So when they see the name Farrakhan trending nationally on their computer and their smartphone, they're upset because they know that him trending on social media only reflects the fact that he's trending in the hearts and minds of the people. And that's what Pharaoh feared about Moses. It wasn't the way he talked and the way he walked or the what dress or whatever he wore or how he combed his hair. No, they feared that Moses would change the religion of the people. That means that they feared that he would tie them back to their nature and pull them away from these false people who are practicing a false religion. And you know, you bring up a good point. See, the scriptural battleground that the minister has drawn the line in the sand is that he boldly has declared that we are the real children of Israel, and that so-called stolen territory across seas is not the real Israel, and they are not the chosen people of God. So they've been stealing our birthright, perpetrating the fraud, but here's the minister pulling the cover. So these people are so angry, they're like, how do you have the audacity to say that we're not the chosen one? Well, he's telling you just like Jesus. I know you. You are of your father, the devil. So this is a very serious time, and this is why those of us who love Minister Farrakhan, we know what he has done for our lives. I'm a personal witness that this man saved me from a purposeless existence. I was like dust that was doing nothing, who thought that my aim and purpose in life was just to dribble, to play sports, you know. But this man inserted a knowledge in my head in high school over 20 years ago and put me on a course of thought that now I can be a man to stand up, to know what a man looks like, to strive to live the truth, to strive to live right, to have a family, to impact my peers.
Right.
And you mean to tell me I'm going to sit by and watch you attack this good man? You got the wrong person today. You got the wrong people today. So the flood, we know, is going to increase.
Yes.
It's going to intensify. But this is the hour that we as soldiers have been waiting for. So like Brother Ishmael said on Sunday, we say with Minister Farrakhan, we're standing, and here we are. Bring it on.
Whoa, did Brother Ishmael bring it or what? I'm on number 2. I think I'm on number 5 of Savior's Day and number 2 of Brother Ishmael. But you said he brought it, right?
Man, Brother Ishmael, brought it. How can you come off the heels of a message that the minister delivered?
Right.
3 hours with that type of spirit.
Yeah.
You only naturally going to feed off of that.
Yeah.
And Brother Ishmael is such a beautiful reflection of the fiery spirit of the minister. But again, see, they deal with emotions and feelings. We deal with actual facts.
Yeah.
And we engage in intellectual discourse.
Yeah.
So when the minister called them to a public showdown,
again,
with the media present, there wasn't no emotional rant.
That's right.
He's saying we got documentation and facts.
That's right.
And if you believe you got the truth, meet him in the public.
That's right.
We can defend, that's what he's saying, we can defend all of the 2,000 plus annotated notes that are in the books of the secret relationship between blacks and Jews. We can prove we're the real children of Israel. This is what he's saying. So if you have truth on your side, don't hide behind your laptop.
Yeah.
He's saying, let's come out in the public. And it's been years now since he's put that challenge out.
Yeah.
But it makes sense to us, Sister Charlene, why they would run. Because his father, his teacher, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, said on page 191 of All of America,
come on,
he made it very clear. He said, God has given me a very strong and invincible truth. Come on now.
Yeah.
That will defend, protect, and prevent you from falling victim to the arch deceiver.
Yeah.
So for those that haven't parsed that word before, invincible means too powerful to be defeated or overcome. incapable of being conquered, and this is the part that's really going to get you off, impossible to prevent from doing what is intended. So,
they can't handle it.
you can't handle it, and
Yeah.
that's why us striving as humble students to follow behind our guide, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, it arms us with the ability to deal with those who are coming at us on social media. And I have witnessed personally in those of the Farrakhan Twitter army, you have people who have won book awards.
Yeah.
You got journalists and editors. You got people who are playwrights, who are actors. All of these people have come at us and cursed us out.
Yeah.
They're dropping the F-bomb, all of this.
Clowning.
And we just tell them, as the minister told us, we're not getting down in the gutter with you.
Yeah.
But you should be ashamed of yourself to claim yourself to be a human being displaying such uncivilized behavior.
Yeah. Yeah.
That just lets us know that you're bereft of intelligent argument.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you can't really deal with it. Then you go to the language that's uncivil. You know, Brother Jesse, and it's the claims of the age-old claims of anti-Semitism. I mean, we've broken that down and battled that, and it's really a lot of people are just repeating things. They're repeating things. They're coming in on the wrong side of history. You know, before we go, I want you to talk about the covered girl. You know, I spoke with Sister Ebony, and she isn't able to be on today, but I think it's just timely how everything is folding together. You know, Liberated Sisters were so blessed. As we get ready to hear from Brother Demetric Muhammad of the Nation of Islam Research Group, right, who has been on the front lines of defending Farrakhan for a very long time, right? These are not new attacks. These are resurging attacks. They're age old, but they're heavier and they're constant. But nonetheless, the relentless battle from the Nation of Islam is just the same, right? But the Covered Girl Twitter chat, it's live. It's taking place tonight, defending Farrakhan and the women who back him. See, you're going to hear from the sisters in the Nation of Islam, and not just the women, but you're going to also hear from women who support Minister Farrakhan from without the nation's so-called registered members, right? To those who accuse Minister Farrakhan of anti-Semitism, misogyny. Are you kidding me? Minister Farrakhan, misogyny? Man, you got the wrong person here. You accuse him of hate teaching. You accuse him of racism, of homophobia. Get out of here. You know, as Minister Farrakhan said, remember that year he said, we didn't prevent you from getting married to the same-sex marriages, right? He said, we didn't prevent you from that. That was your brothers. Your own brothers did that. He said, go on and be yourself. If you keep going that route, in the end, then we won't even have anything else to deal with you on. But they're coming at him with that. They're using everything that they could possibly get, and it's not working. So the women are going to stand up as we have before. This is not the first time, but people are invited to the Covered Girl Twitter chat. Talk about that a minute, and then we're going to have you close on, and I'm going to bring on Brother Demetric.
You know, absolutely. It's that during that time of the crucifixion of Jesus, it's written in Scripture that the majority of those that were found around him were the women.
That's right.
And it's no accident that, of course, the minister's presence and truth has caused a lot of division within the Women's March movement.
Oh, yeah.
People are now being forced to pick sides as they're unjustly attacking our sister Tamika Mallory.
That's right.
But you got others who supported that march. They're going at the minister and coming at him, calling him misogynistic and all of these things. So the same way last year, a brother in Baltimore accused the minister of being misogynistic, and the MGT Vanguard unleashed on him on social media
Tore him
in a
up.
proper manner and shut him down.
Yes,
Then
ma'am.
tonight, here we go again. The sisters are going to get on the witness stand and deal with all of the women that have attacked the minister, and this is not being done behind closed doors.
That's right.
This
Yes,
is
sir.
an open forum with the hashtag Farrakhan and Covered Girl. All women are being invited to join in, because it's one thing for them to hear from us as brothers.
Yeah.
But now you're going to hear it directly from the sister,
Yeah.
the reputation of the minister in the reformation of women. And last, you know, what I think I have found is very interesting, and those I have engaged, from editors of various newspapers to actors on social media, I have yet to find one of these so-called Jews can answer one simple question for me on Twitter. Do they know the definition of Semitic? Nobody has answered me yet in 8 days. All they tell me is that I'm trying to change the subject. I say, no, if you're saying we're anti-Semite,
Right.
please give me the definition of Semitic, and they will not answer. You know why? Because people, you have to realize, calling people anti-Semitic and calling them haters is big business. These people make money off this. How do we know?
Wow.
If you go look up a newspaper called the Weekly Standard, there's a writer that did a report last November. He found that the Southern Poverty Law Center, we call them the Law Center, that these people have $69 million in offshore accounts.
Wow.
I'm going to say it again for those that didn't know. The Southern Poverty Law Center that has made their claim to fame, calling the Nation of Islam and others haters, they have $69 million in offshore accounts. Where are they getting that money from? What are they generating it from? And how much does the Anti-Defamation League have in offshore accounts?
Wow.
See, no, this is the wrong time today.
Yeah.
And when we have been blessed to be armed with truth, and when we have been blessed to be armed with the word from the minister, then the powerful research team that backs him up, like Brother Dimitri, we have no reason not to be able to stand firm because we have all of the weaponry of the word and the truth armed there. All we have to do is be intelligent, diligent students, respond properly. Don't get down in the gutter. Let's stand firm, and let's let the whole world know that we stand with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, because this man has sacrificed his life for 6 decades plus. He has given his all to us.
That's right.
He has showed us love. He has defended us when we didn't even deserve to be defended. He has stood up for us when we didn't deserve to be stood up.
Right.
And he has loved us when we didn't even love ourselves.
Right.
So I want to say that I stand with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and I pray all, inside the nation or not, if this man has touched your family in some form or fashion, we're asking you today, do not be silent. Do not be bought off. Do not allow them to punk you. You stand firm, because these people that are attacking us, they have not stepped one pinky foot in the hood to do anything for our people.
Nothing.
Farrakhan has. His track record is well documented.
That's right. And Brother Jesse, if I could add to what you said earlier, you thought your purpose was to be playing ball or shooting hoops. Man, I didn't even know my purpose. You know, I was growing up in a small country town, and that's not a slight on the country town. That's a great place, but I had no clue. Ignorance was bliss, okay, with me.
Man, look,
Go ahead.
You know, that's the thing. I'm not knocking anybody. You know, in basketball, of course, now the big thing is that they do more than dribble because they're being attacked right now.
Oh, yeah.
Dribbling the ball, right?
Yeah.
So when I got message to the black man put in my hand from the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, when I found out just that we were the original people, I went crazy in the 9th grade.
Man, they couldn't give it to me in 9th grade.
Man,
I couldn't handle it.
So I became the high school local pastor.
Reverend JJ.
They would let me open and close meetings in prayer.
Yeah.
I was trying to tell everybody, you know, a lot of people know I like to watch the show Martin.
Yeah.
You know, when he get excited about something, he said, I know somebody got to tell somebody, tell somebody.
I know, right?
When I got these teachers and I heard Farrakhan on that audio cassette tape, I went crazy.
Come on now.
He came and rearranged the molecular structure and makeup of my very thought process.
Right.
To the point that as a member of the Nation of Islam, I couldn't even watch a movie and thinking I'm just having fun.
Right.
Because this man has given us a filtering system that we don't see things like everybody see, man.
Brother
You know, what was that thing in Black Panther, the main thing, the vibranium?
Oh, my God. I know, right?
Yo, I got that 20 plus years ago.
Yeah.
Brother Dimitri got it years ago.
Yeah.
You got it years ago.
Yeah.
This word
Yeah.
from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad through Minister Farrakhan has done something to our mind.
Yeah.
So we thank Allah for this man.
Yeah.
We have to show gratitude, and we cannot say that we with him and we will sit by and be like the disciples that abandoned Jesus during that hour. Because we have to all remember, when the trials came, Jesus didn't say anything because it wasn't his trial.
Not his
trial. It
trial.
was the trial of the blind man that he helped see.
Come on.
The one that couldn't walk, he helped him walk. the one that he told to pick up the bed and walk,
Right.
the woman that had the blood issue that he cured her of it. Come on now.
Come on.
All
It's
you out there
our
that are
trial.
witness, come on and stand up
Yeah.
today. Because you know that this man has been a Jesus to us. So it's only right that we stand up and show these people that we are with him.
Yeah, man, no Judases. And look, you're right. I mean, we have all of these platforms. And if you don't know what to do or what to say or scared you're going to pop off, like a Sister Charlene might, when she gets, then retweet. Go
Watch
to the
out
final
now.
call and share what's being shared. If you don't really have it in you or know what, but trust me, they're going to push the right button on Minister Farrakhan, and that soldier going to come right on out of you to defend him. And as Brother Jesse said, we're not getting down in the gutter. We're not doing it at all. All we got to do is lift up all of his 1,000,000+ words and just put it out there. But there's no way that we can sit by and allow this great man to come under attack. I mean, look, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be saying anything. And before we go, speaking of Cover Girl, and you mentioned it before, and Brother Demetric, we're coming. But what I would like for people to do is, I would like for women to stop writing about the nation until come join the women in the nation, join the MGT and GCC, and then write from within. That's what I would like for people to do, because I've been growing a little exhausted of reading tired books about the oppression of the women in the nation, or people insinuating that we're down in the dumps and we're part are oppressed by a patriarchal society. You got it wrong. Now, this white patriarchal society, I can understand that. But this is not what we are a part of in the Nation of Islam. So come and interview me or join the MGT. And again, right from within, because I'm just growing a little bit exhausted of reading about that. Do not assert what you are struggling with onto the women in the Nation of Islam. We are the freest, the boldest, the most feminine that there is. And you can have that too. You don't even necessarily have to be a registered member, but I think it's just a little bit disingenuous. And I think it's also a plot to sell books, but we're not, as our sisters are, and God help them to overcome this, our oppressed sisters in the Middle East. It's not right what's happening to the women in the Muslim world. But when you're talking about Farrakhan, the women who follow Farrakhan and follow the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, that's not us. So come and talk to us.
Right.
Come and talk to us.
I think, in a segue into our brother Demetrius gives a great response to that, in addition, that this is why the campaigns of the prophet, peace be upon him, upon his departure, they took it upon them to write books, and we all have that testimony. And so Brother Demetrius is one of those who have put out several books of testimony and everything. So while, yes, I agree that those others, they have a charge like, come on inside. You don't know what it feels like to be in this military structure, so you're really not qualified to really talk about us. At the same time, we all got books and testimonies that's sitting up inside of us. So we are in the age now with so much technology, self-publishing and everything. All of us can document our own testimony and witness bear and write our own reviews, put our own reports out, put our own press release out, put our own interviews out, make our own YouTube channels and everything like that. And then that'll help to beat back that. And so, as it says in the scripture, the earth will swallow up the flood.
Come on now, earth. Raise up, earth. Brother Jesse, thank you for that segue. We're going to wrap and call Brother Demetric, and thank you so much. And Pumps on the Ground will be coming out soon. By the way, since you mentioned our own testimonies, we'll be talking about that some more. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Jesse. We love you very much.
Wa alaikum salam. Love you too.
We're going to come on now. We're going to give Brother Demetric Muhammad a call. But this was Brother Jesse Muhammad that we just spoke to. He's social media director. He handles all of Minister Farrakhan's social media pages. And he's getting the first-hand analysis, the first hits from what's happening with the attacks. But he's also getting the support as well. Brother Jesse says from every part of the planet, that he receives information from Minister Farrakhan. But let me ask you to go to finalcall.com. Brother Richard Muhammad, editor-in-chief, and myself have the cover story this week on defending Farrakhan. There's more coverage also continuing from Savior's Day, and there's other stories about defending Farrakhan. And you can find out more about what we're saying of these attacks that the minister is coming under. I want to kind of read something to you from that if I could. You got to pardon me. I was looking right at the hard copy of the paper, but I'm going to go online to the current edition, and I may just interrupt that. But, you know, the cover is defending Farrakhan. Farrakhan's defenders challenge Jewish lies. And so what are these lies? These lies are coming in the form of news articles. They're coming in the form of social media salvos. They're coming in the form of false charges. But as Brother Jesse talked about, and as the Final Call article discusses, they're being met with a strong dispute. You have people like Jake Tapper on CNN having panels about Minister Farrakhan, going so far as to call the minister homophobic and lift his words from Savior's Day to our LGBTQ brothers and sisters. But he stopped short of what Minister Farrakhan said, which was saying that some of his own family members are within the LGBT community. And he talked to members of the nation and those listening about not acting as though people are perfect, and how what's touching the world is touching our lives. So there's some other things. I want to lift it up right now. Just bear with me. I'm going to look down at my screen a little bit. Father Michael Flager of St. Sabina Church. I think we have him. Okay, we don't have a Brother Demetric yet. We're going to try, and we're going to be wrapping up in about 9 minutes. So I really hope that Brother Demetric picks up, because he is a strong defender of Farrakhan. Brother Demetric has a book, 1 and 2, really the research team. But Brother Demetric, I think, spearheaded these books, Defending Farrakhan. You can order them at store.finalcall.com. He has talked about, really fought back, beat back false claims about the Nation of Islam, and specifically Minister Farrakhan killing Brother Malcolm X. But those are at finalcall.com. You can read the stories. Did Y'all Kill Malcolm? That's the title of it. And also the other articles from the NOI research group. We'd like you to visit store.finalcall.com for any of these purchases. And of course, to purchase Minister Farrakhan's Savior's Day address, where you can find out more about what's happening with these attacks. Why are people so upset? People meaning most specifically his enemies, the satanic, powerful Jews. One thing, as I continue, I want to read. I'm trying to, enlarge this screen. But one thing I want to mention as I get to this screen is Minister Farrakhan has released his 44-box set, his music set, his life in song, Let's Change the World. So it's at lctwmusic.com. It features artists like Snoop, Rick Ross, Denise Williams, Stephanie Mills, James M. Toomey, Common, Stevie Wonder, Tina Marie, may God be with her, our late great sister Tina Marie, and many, many, many more. Damian Marley. There's so many people from all genres on this box set. The artwork, shout out to Brother Brian Muhammad, Brother Michael Amir, Brother Joshua Farrakhan, Sister Kim. Many people were a part of making this happen, but the artwork is so beautiful, and it's an unprecedented box set. And so you can also find more about that at finalcall.com. But look, in the article, Farrakhan's defenders challenging Jewish lies, we feature the voices of Dr. Ava Muhammad. We feature attorney Abdul Arif Muhammad. We feature, again, James M. Toomey and Brother Anthony Shaheed of Hands Up, Don't Shoot. He's out of St. Louis. And let's see, can we try Brother Demetric one more time? Brother Demetric is calling me, but we're going to call him right back. Thank you so much. Our article starts out talking about how these Jewish and Zionist groups that have harassed, They have slandered. They've even stalked Minister Farrakhan. Minister Farrakhan is being stalked by these people. All he's doing is going about his work, fulfilling his mission, which is to help raise the black nation by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He's helping his teacher and father, right? But they had begun spinning another web of deceit and lies. And this, again, after Minister Farrakhan delivered his powerful 3-hour message from the Wintrust Arena, he closed out the Savior's Day address. And so, as Brother Jesse said, they just started attacking and cursing right during the minister's address. I mean, don't you have something to do besides stalk Minister Farrakhan? But nonetheless, Jonathan Goldblatt of the ADL, Jake Tapper, and even Alan Dershowitz. You know, Dershowitz was the one who said that, and not the only one, but he emphatically said if he had known about the picture with Minister Farrakhan and Barack Obama, he would never have supported Barack. Yeah, among other things. Thank you so much. So we're not going to be able to have Brother Demetric, and I take audience responsibility because I did go a little long. We were blessed to speak to John Weber this morning, and I wanted you to hear from the father, this father mourning his son and seeking answers. And so, of course, that pushed the segments back, but we can have Brother Demetric on because we're going to be in this. We're not about to stop defending Farrakhan because, as we definitely know, these attacks are not about to stop. They're going to escalate. I mean, did you hear Savior's Day? Did you hear the minister's address? He said, as he has told us before, they're coming for him and they're coming for us. And so we're not going to be able to think that as followers of Minister Farrakhan, we're going to be able to sit around and benefit. You know, applaud, clap. Minister Farrakhan said this. Oh, he gave excellent words. Oh, I tried what he said about this avenue. Oh, he defended us well over here. And now people are firing missiles at this man, and we're just going to sit back and cross our hands and watch it play off. We're going to watch it go down. We're going to grab some popcorn. No, baby, this is not Wakanda. We're not watching a movie. This is real life. And this is a battle between good and evil. We already know good is going to win. We already know this. But knowing it doesn't mean it happens without action, right? We already know that, for instance, we're going to travel to Savior's Day. But is it going to come out of the sky? No, you got to go to work. You have to plan. You have to be strategic. You have to be smart. And one thing is we have to be obedient. If we're going to win this, and we must be obedient. We must not get in the gutter with people who are attacking Minister Farrakhan. We must fight with wisdom, with the truth that we have been given. We must follow his example. Put your foot where he put his foot, okay? We really have a way to do this. This is not play. It's not playtime at all. But as Minister Farrakhan said, they will only get 300. And after that, watch Allah go to work. And so one of the things in past Savior's Days, this Savior's Day, it's out in the public. It's no secret. People make fun of us. They laugh. They mock. But there is a mother plane. There's a mothership in the sky. You know, George Clinton, they talked about it. They rapped about it, but it's real. There is a weapon that we can't even fathom that is backing Minister Farrakhan. And so that weapon by virtue is backing us, but we got to be doing the right thing, brothers and sisters. We got to be pushing this truth. You know, there are so many people that don't even know of Minister Farrakhan. We would think, how could that be? There's no reason for them to not know, but let's spread the truth of what this man is giving. Can we say that we have a better life? I'm talking to those who follow in the Nation of Islam right now. I'm talking to the registered Muslims. And if we can say that, don't we want for our brother and sister what we want for ourselves? Don't we want that? If we say we want that, then we have to bring them. We have to tell them. We give them a choice. You can't strong arm somebody, but definitely we have to let them know that it is there, that this truth of God, this reality of God is there. You know, we cannot get caught up in what's happening in the world because it's in the fullness of time. And the fall of America, as prophesied, as told, as written of by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and as Minister Farrakhan has been teaching for many, many, many decades, it's happening. It's happening. So what is our charge? Our charge is to spread the word. Just point to the man. Just point. Just point. If you don't know what to say, point. Point to him. If we think we know what to say, still point to him. We might say it wrong. We might get it wrong, but he has, as Brother Jesse has pointed out, as we point out in the final call, it's an invincible truth. We don't have to be afraid. Please stand up, because again, Allah hates ingratitude. I mean, the way I used to live, and I'm not going to go back all the way in the grave. I'm not going to revisit it. I'm not about to put a before-after picture up. This one sentence is about it. But those who know me know, and I know enough of myself to know what I was doing. You wouldn't have wanted to know a person like me before I heard the truth from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad through Minister Farrakhan. I just wasn't pleasant. You just wouldn't have wanted to know me. You know, what would I have added to your life? I just really don't know what. I really don't know what. But I thank Allah. You know, as Brother Jesse said, he's got a family, he's got a wife, beautiful babies, you know, pushing truth. He comes across people every day that talk about how their lives were one way before they came across him, and they're improved. We're here to help people improve. It's not from a goody two-shoe standpoint. It's just, what are we doing to help others today? When I hear John Weber talk about wanting answers for his son, my God, this brother's running. Now, these are not his words, but he's running from pillar to post, trying to get answers. There's an autopsy. They were able to get enough money to have a forensic specialist, but he's bound. I mean, that reminds me of, and my brother Jesse's gone, but one of our brothers was hung in Mississippi, and the minister ordered an autopsy for the family to find out what happened, because the original autopsy was not coming back. We didn't trust it. And the minister had an autopsy done for the family, and it showed foul play. See, we have to be there and help our people wherever their condition is, whatever it is, and not for vanity's sake. And so I want to say that it's a privilege and honor to be a part of the Nation of Islam, to be a follower of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, to be one of the writers for his great, bold, baddest newspaper of truth on the planet. You know, for those of you who have any problems with Minister Farrakhan, then we say you got a problem with God. You got a problem with God, baby. Take it up to God. But in the meantime, we're going to continue defending Farrakhan. So please go to finalcall.com to read the cover story on what's happening with Minister Farrakhan. Remember, the Covered Girl chat is taking place tonight, defending Farrakhan and the women who back him. Yes, we do. That's hashtag CoverGirl and at Louis Farrakhan on Twitter. And before we go, I want to say thank you so much to Sister Felicia Morris, and Morris Media Studios right here, morrismedialive.com. We really thank you for having this platform for all of us here who enjoy it. And also thank you to Kiana Selena Smith. Thank you, Brother Jesse Muhammad. Thank you, Brother Demetric. I'm sorry I went long. Couldn't get you in, but we'll bring you back on the third Tuesday if you're able. And I'll say it again, finalcall.com for coverage of Savior's Day, our Defending Farrakhan cover. You can also go to store.finalcall.com to purchase his CDs, his DVDs, all of the products that we are putting out for Minister Farrakhan, as well as others with the Nation of Islam, and also NOI.org to hear Brother Ishmael's message, which was a part 2, so to speak, of Savior's Day. LCTWmusic.com for Let's Change the World, Minister Farrakhan's 44 song box set, and you will not be disappointed. You can order that. I'm Sister Charlene Muhammad. Thank you for tuning in today. If it's impacting our community or can uplift us as a people, let's talk about it. Peace.